Hello. In this example, we're going to work through how to use subclasses and parameters, and we'll use checkout sessions and line items to explain how to set these. So for here, I'm just going to call this, I'm calling the create checkout session. I'm just going to call this our example. I'm just going to make up a Stripe account ID. These aren't really the values we care about. So if I come down to line items, I can see that this is calling a subclass. Very similar to metadata, if you saw the metadata video we did, but we'll kind of go through how to set this. So we know we need a list of these items. Flow and Apex like their lists when you're passing things in. So we're going to create a couple variable assignments specifically to set this so we can pass line items into the checkout session. So for now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say done to keep this as a placeholder, and then we're going to get into doing some assignments. So the first assignment I'm going to say is our single line item. And then we're going to go ahead and create a new resource type, just a variable, and I'm going to call it line item. We're going to say it's Apex defined. And again, the class it told us was this checkout session rec line item. I just kind of copy and pasted it and put it in here. And I'm just going to say done. And then for line item, now I can dot walk into it. So if I wanted to say, hey, the price of this is, $10. And then we'll do line item again. And we'll say quantity is 6. And you can see some of these other ones are Apex defined as well. So you can actually see, you can dot walk down into these a little bit. So do you want adjustable quantities? We're going to say true. Now we don't need price data because essentially what we're doing is we hard set the price. So you can see there's different things in here, products, currency. But the idea is here is just going to show you how to walk these. So we'll get out of recurring here. We'll go back in the price data. We can go into product data. You could say the name of the product is our cool toy. And we could add another assignment. We could do line item. Back in the price data and say the currency, we could say is US dollars. But essentially, kind of get the idea, right? We can set the different attributes of the line items. And we can say done. And then we can't pass it in yet because the action's still expecting a list. So I'm going to create another assignment here. And I'm going to say our list of line items. And here I'm just going to create a new resource called a variable. I'm going to say list of line items. It's the same type. So basically you're passing it the same type here. And what you're doing is you're saying allow multiple value collection. In here we just want to say add. And what we're going to add is the line item itself. This is the one we hard set up above. Obviously we'd use variables and things like that to set those attributes. But now we have that assigned. One more thing we need to do is we actually need to get the Stripe account. I didn't have a share a version of this. I have one in here that contains fish, I think, like Jake's Fish Shop or something. So I'm just going to put fish in here for value. Obviously, as usual, you would do this however you wanted to. So if I come back down in here and just say edit attribute, I'm going to set my account ID to the ID of this record. And then I'm going to come down here into the line items. And I'm going to say I want to include one, and you'll see that line items is available for selection. So now I can go ahead and select that. This is pretty much the process for working with any subclass in a parameter to where you're populating them, is you have to define that variable. So I know I have to define a variable for this. It would be the exact same process if I wanted to create this checkout sessions as well. I don't know if I have to set mode. This call might fail. I think the idea was more to show that we can populate the data there. Anything else, it's just a matter of assigning the subclass variable of the rec line item. We called that line items here, setting the values. And then since flows require lists, I just created a separate variable assignment and said, hey, I want to add this line item to this list. I could have easily done that from this call as well, just by saying, hey, line item list add to the line item here. I just broke it out because typically you'd probably be iterating over an array of some kind in a for state or a loop here, and probably setting different line items to an array. So I just broke them out so you could see how that works. Thank you.